and welcome to The Colonel Does Feed the Beast. We are on the Trek Ultimate server. Thank you for joining us on this horrible, horrible day. I just got in from shoveling some more snow, and God, it's disgusting out there. I may be Canadian, but I can tell you I am so ready for spring. I cannot even tell you. Well, I guess I just did, didn't I? So, thanks for joining us today. We've been busy. Been busy this weekend, trying to get a lot of things going around here as far as power goes. So, we tried to hook up our AE system, but we're not generating enough power. So, we have to figure some other methods out. So let me quickly run down what we've got going on here. So we've managed to get the steel smelted up in the blast furnace, and we've made these tanks, and so these are 7x7x4. They hold 9.4 million barrels. Sorry, 9.4 million millibuckets, or whatever they're called, which is basically like 9,400 buckets, I think, is what it works out to. But then I could be talking up my butt. I don't know. It's got a lot of buckets in it. So we've set up a couple of oil wells over the last little while. And so we're pumping everything directly from the pump into a tank. And then this is going into here. And then we're pumping out of here into two refineries. I was using one, but I wasn't happy with how much we were pulling out, so I thought I'd double it up, but I'm not even sure that this is helping because we're not generating enough power. So anyway, this is getting turned into fuel. We're still making a gain on fuel, so this is good. And we're actually using the power that we generate from the fuel to actually power the pumps, or the refineries. So, hold on, I need a sip of my cocoa. Oh man, it's nice and warm. Okay, so we've got the fuel coming out. We don't have a lot of fuel, but we've got enough, and we are accumulating. I got the rolling machine made and put in here, so this caused me a lot of consternation because the rolling machine requires MJ to run. Some blocks will take MJ, some blocks will take EU, some blocks will take the new power, which is redstone flux. Some machines, like the AE system, will take all of them, and others will only take one. So in order to get the steel tanks made, I had to get the plates, and I didn't want to keep making hammers and things to make the plates. So I made the rolling machine, and so what we've got here is we've got the fluid duct coming out, and it's pumping the fuel into the combustion engine. The combustion engine only generates MJ, so that is used for the rolling machine, and I turn it off when I'm not using it because the rolling machine will just keep sucking power, which means we're using up more fuel. Now down here we have a compression dynamo, and the compression dynamo is basically the same thing as the combustion engine, except it generates RF, which is redstone flux. Now redstone flux is 10-to-1 ratio to MJ, so 80 RF is 8 MJ. I have no idea why on earth thermal expansion needed to go a different route and go into another power system. I mean, we've got EU, UE, MJ, and now we've got RF, and it's just so freaking confusing. Plus, some stuff just doesn't work with other stuff. So, I don't know. I thought it worked fine before, but I guess apparently it wasn't. So down here underneath, we've got an aqueous accumulator providing water to both the combustion engine and the compression dynamo. So they're all set. So we're generating 80 RF from here, and we're generating Jeez, I don't know what this does. I think this does like 6 MJ or something like that. I can't remember. So we don't really need this one anymore unless we're going to build any more tanks, which I hope we don't need to. So that's the MJ side. Now, these guys, the pulverizer and the redstone furnace, used to accept MJ, and now they only accept RF, which really messed me up because I started looking into... I had built a bunch of gold conduit, or gold conductive pipe is what it is, from Buildcraft, to power these guys because we didn't have any redstone conduit. So I built all that stuff, wasted all that gold, only to come find out that thermal expansion has changed over to RF completely. So now I need RF to power these guys and not MJ. So I had to rewire some things. So what we have to do for thermal expansion now, instead of we can use I think we can use redstone energy conduit. But in this case, we're using thermal expansion, leadstone energy conduit. And that's the cheapest one that you can make. And if we pull up the recipe for it, there's 3 different kinds. You've got the leadstone energy conduit, and that will only hold 80 RF. Excuse me. So it's kind of the same, I think, as the system that EU switched over to, or is in the process of switching over to, and that is you can only have a maximum of 80 RF total on the line at any given time. So it's not like packets where you can send, as long as the packet size is the same size. So you can't send, have like 5 dynamos hooked up that all each generate 80 RF and have them go over the same line. That won't work because it's additive. It's not in parallel. So that would mean you would have, 400 RF instead of 80. So this will only support 1 dynamo. So the dynamo that we're using right now, the compression dynamo, is generating 80 RF. So that is the maximum this can hold. So this holds 1 dynamo. So it's, 8 MJ going up to an AE system. That's barely enough to power it if that's all it was doing. But in this case, we've got it hooked up to the pulverizer and the macerator so that we can do our ore processing, or very basic ore processing, I should say. So the next one is the hardened energy conduit, and this does 400 RF, so we can hook up 5 dynamos to it. Unfortunately, it requires Invar, and so if you look up the recipe for it, well, when I initially came into this and was looking at it, so Invar, you go into an alloy smelter and you use iron and nickel. Well, if you look at the alloy smelter, the alloy smelter requires electronic circuits. Now, I have some left over, and they were supposed to have been wiped from the upgrade. So I think I'm going to follow the same philosophy and the same rules that I've been following. And I need to update our manifesto. And that is anything that we were given for free or that we obtained for free, that we won't actually use it until we've made one with the new method. So I think I have 11 electronic circuits, but I don't want to use any of them until I've made one through the new system, because we switched over to GregTech. So the problem with the electronic circuits is that you need a red alloy plate to do that. And if you look at the recipe for red alloy, you need not a redstone furnace. You need there we go. You need an alloy smelter to make the red alloy ingot. Now the red alloy ingot here is not the same as the red alloy ingot from Project Red. they're not compatible for most of the GregTech stuff. So it looks like it's a circle because you need the red alloy to make the electronic circuits, and the alloy smelter, if you pull up the alloy smelter, you need electronic circuits to make the alloy smelter. So it's kind of a vicious circle. So it's like, which is the chicken or the egg? So we don't have enough. We don't have the resources to do that. However, what I found is that if you dig further into... nope, that's not it. No. That's what I wanted to do. So rather than go with the alloy, so this is the whole premise of this is to make the electrum. So let's do the conduit again. So hardened energy conduit, right? So we need the invar. Actually, strike that. So that would be the hardened energy conduit. Actually, you know what? We could do that. And I hadn't even... I went down a different road. So let's go to the third one. And that'll kind of bring you to where I'm at right now. So the third one is the redstone energy conduit. And this one does 10,000 RF per tick. So that is, what, 100 MJ? So this is pretty much your redstone energy conduit that you had before, except it's got a cap on it. Which actually makes things a little interesting, because now you're going to have to run separate power sources. But that's down the road. So to make the redstone energy conduit that you need to actually make this, so you need the fluid transposer for the destabilized redstone, so that you can make it basically the same recipe that you used before, although I don't know why they changed everything. But you've got your electrum ingots. The hardened glass we can make with the induction smelter. I don't think that should be a problem. Although, yeah, that's a thermal expansion thing. So we need to make the electrum ingot. So if we look at the electrum ingot, it's the same as the red alloy thing. You need to make the electrum ingot. And the only way that I could see is to do the gold and the silver dust in the alloy smelter. So we still have the same problem that we need to have an alloy smelter. But if you go to the next tab, it goes to Tinker's Construct. Now this would indicate that you need to have an electrum ingot already and smelt it. But if you click on the molten electrum, it tells you, okay, you can get it from the fluid transposer, or you can go into the smeltery. And if you click on the molten electrum from the smeltery, next one, alloy smeltery. So this is basically your Tinker's Construct smeltery. So you get the molten electrum if you melt gold and silver. So you don't need to have the red alloy engine or the red alloy furnace. Alloy smelter is what I'm talking about. So this is good. This is good. It's a little corner cutting. I think the intended method is to use Tinker's Construct. However, or GregTech. However, this is an alternative way of doing it. And I think it was Mentazin that mentioned it to me in chat. So thank you very much for that, because this was freaking me out. I wasn't sure what I needed to do. And I still am planning on going through GregTech from the beginning, but I really want to get off our feet and get things going with getting our inventory system up. So we have you stick gold and silver at a 1-to-1 into the Tinker's Construct smeltery, and you get your molten electrum. So I think that's what we're going to do, so that we can and we're going to build a couple of more machines. So basically the whole premise for this, the reason for this, is so that we can redo the power system over here so that we can upgrade it, because right now we're running off of 8 MJ. And we need a lot more than that. So if we do, 8 times 5, we're going to run off of 40 MJ. We'll be able to supply enough power to run the machines, and we'll also be able to have enough power to run the AE system. So we have been getting things going a little bit here with the power. So I think the next step is to, start getting these electrum ingots so that we can at least get the empty conduit ready, so that when we do the liquid transposer and stuff, then we're ready. And that's going to take a while, and we'll probably run that off camera. Well, we will run that off camera because that's going to be a lot of AFK. So let's see if this guy is still accumulating or if we've... Nope, still going. So I found an oil field. It's got a bunch of different wells. So I've been tapping those. So I'm going to basically fill that up. And then in this episode, we're also going to go back over to the volcano, and we're going to start sucking the lava out for this. So we're going to have fuel powering some stuff, and then we're going to have lava actually powering the MJ machines. The machines that actually require MJ only. So this is basically our power setup here. And I'm not sure how I'm going to keep that stuff separate. That's interesting now that I realize that's 100 RF. It's not unlimited. So we're going to have some creative power routing to keep things separate. And actually, I'm not sure if that will support MJ or not. Lots of things to learn in this mod pack, that's for sure. A lot of the upgrades for some of these things is just kind of throw me for a loop. So what we've got here is we've got a casting table, and we've got our ingots, and below we have a chest, and we've got a hopper. So all of our stuff is going to go into this chest, and all of our stuff being molten electrum. So I stuck a stack of each. So we've got 128 ingots worth of electrum, so 2 stacks. That should be enough for the foreseeable future, hopefully ever, for red energy cable. So let us stick a clock on here, and this should... There we go. So this will run until this is done. I might have to... No, I'm not going to have to come back. So this is already good. We don't have to worry about lava. So yeah, we'll just let this run until it's done. And then hopefully by then we'll have some of these machines made up. But I don't want to do that now. I'm going to go over and set up the pump over at the volcano so that we can start getting some of this stuff in. So now we started off the episode at the donator, the kit chest, and those are the items we got from our donations. And I didn't want to use them until we've made at least one. So we have made at least we've made 2 of those, the ender tanks. So we're going to use these 2 for the lava. So I think that's blue on top. Nope. Okay, so blue on top means it's going to accept liquid, and we right click it, and red on top means it's going to exit. It's going to send liquid. So we're going to go set up over at the volcano and hopefully start pumping some of this stuff out into the tank. Alrighty, so we were at the top of the volcano. Nice view, if I do say so myself. And so we have I have some plans for that, but we'll get to that several episodes down the road. I've got too many plans apparently. So basically what we're going to do is plop down one of these guys. And that is just your normal BC pump. It can take up to 100 MJ. We're not going to go anywhere near that. In fact, we are going to use Stirling engines, which are very cheap to run. And right now is all we need. It gets the job done. So we need to have a lever to turn them on. And we want to do that, and that. And that's it. So the pump is going to pump the lava out and stick it into the ender tank. And then the ender tank is going to communicate with its counterpart over here. And hopefully it will be pumping lava. Oh, I guess I need to... Oh, it's working. Oh, I don't need to do that. Or do I? No, I don't. Oh, joy of joys. This will clean things up greatly for me. So I had been under the impression that you needed to have this wrenched to this, but apparently not. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? Okay, so there's 3 modes. There's this mode here, which is just normal mode. And I think this should still be increasing. 8239. Yep. 82. Oh. I might have actually tapped the other well. I'll have to go check that in a sec. So you've got normal mode. You've got output mode. So the normal mode is kind of input. But I guess it operates kind of the same way that the FluidX used to, so it'll automatically suck stuff out. Or at least that's the way it's behaving over there. And then you've got a do not interact with whatever's next to it. So that's kind of cool. I like those. That's a nice change to that pipe. So I'm going to have to go check this out. Not that we really need to worry about it, because we're almost at capacity, and this is going to take forever to process this into fuel. So this is good. This is good. This is working. So we're getting the lava very slowly, mind you. Actually, you know what? Maybe I do need a lever. Let us see if this makes a difference. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't make a difference. It's still coming in slow. Okay. Well, that's good, because I didn't want to have all these levers sticking around all over the place. Okay, so let's go back. And this is not going to run very long, because we don't have a lot of lava up here. This is basically the column down to the dome inside. So once that's gone and those source blocks are gone, then we'll just patch this up, and then we'll run this down into the basement. Where we've got our underground dugout, and we'll stick that on top of there, and that will run all the way down until the lava pool is completely gone. Now, I've saved a bucket of lava. You can see how that stuff is disappearing. I've saved a bucket of lava because I want to basically put the look back. So I'm going to just stick another source block up here and have it cascade down the mountain the way it did before. And hopefully it won't change its path. So let us see if this is still running. Yep, it's still going. So we'll let this run until it's done. In the meantime, let's go back to the oil rig. And that is why they're out of fuel. Alright. Lots of bouncing around. Trying to keep up with fuel demands. So we're here with Dead Spark, getting a little tour of his area. We were actually over here earlier, and I thought it was actually an extension to Great Orders and Brandon's base. which is right over there. But it's not. He's moved into the neighborhood, and it's kind of funny because it looks as though he's probably thinking I'm messing with him. Looks as though he's got a little throne room set up here. I told him he should open up a window here so he can look out onto his subjects, his loyal subjects. Great Orator and Brandon. What is that up there? I wonder if that's a nuclear reactor chamber, maybe? I don't know. It's got some nice windows here, though. Dunes. No kidding. How do you switch it? Oh, Magical Forest. Cool. This is a big building. I wonder what else is in it. Nothing yet. It doesn't... Oh, what's this? Oh, cool. Wool pressure plates. Oh, this must be the abode. Cool, cool, cool. Aha. So this is the top floor, where ladies' lingerie is. Looks like it's unfinished, but that's cool. That's cool. Oh, there was another one over on the other side. All right. Oh, there's another one. Why didn't I notice those? Oh, because I didn't go around the other side. That's why. All right. Oh, there isn't anything below. So he has not finished it yet. Oops. Yeah. Nothing below. I dropped down, but I don't want to lose my Haste 3 boots. Great Order's got a nice... and Brandon, they've got a nice setup here. It's very laggy, though. They got a lot going on in their base. But it looks nice. Like, watch... watch this. So we're over here, and we're at, what? 20... 23, 25 frames, 27. So they're going back up. But as soon as I run halfway across the bridge... it's gonna drop. I was at 40 frames when I came in here. And the closer we get... Oh, down to 13. So this is what my old base used to be like on the old server. But this is nice. Wow, they've done a lot of work on here since I've been here last. I will get to you soon. One of these days. Yeah, this is nice. I gotta start looking into some of these Bibliocraft blocks. Yeah, they got some farms down there. They had a tree farm that... if you stand next to it, you notice it. Ah, dragon head. Cool. Oh, yeah. That's kind of freaky. What is over there? Whoa. Is this in case of emergency break glass? And these are the blackout curtains. I'm going to be making use of these in an upcoming episode. But I haven't got it ready yet. But you will see. You shall see. Oh, taint. Oh, this must be a mob system. Mob farm. Cool. Lots of different ways of doing mob farms with this pack, which is cool. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to explore a lot of those because we don't... Oh, they got rainbow oak leaves. That's cool. Because we're not going to be using the mob farms. That's cool. That's cool. And you were looking for a tour of my base. Sure. Spoilers, though. I need to allow... What do I need to do? I don't know who does. Yeah, I'm gonna have to set him up. So let me go do that, and we'll give him a tour. No, thought we'd check out these couple of bases here. So hopefully you enjoyed. So we've set up the pumps, or the pump, downstairs, and I'm coming out to survey the damage. And it appears to be extensive. This is getting really close to my tree, man. I don't know if I like that. I'm kind of worried about the way that that kind of comes across. So I might have to go up there and see if I can finagle some things into place. How far up do I need to go? So let me get up there. That looks much better. Still looks kind of weird over there, but I think I can live with that. There's our node. So it looks good from there. Looks okay from the back. I never really had a problem with the back ever. Although, well, looks like a lot of lava there. But I think we can live with that. And coming down the side, nothing appears to be different, although that looks kind of weird, but that's fine. Still got the lava pool up there. So we're good. Thank God. Alright, so let's go back to our home. And let's see how we're doing with our oil and with our... I think we're full. We are. So let's go back to our oil derrick. And let's take this stuff down. Home on the range. I probably could have done back, but that's okay. Man, I'm losing my voice today. And it looks as though we've tapped out all the lava too. So we can go either find another volcano, and we'll probably have to do that. But thankfully there are a bunch of volcanoes around. And as usual, I got carried away. And my voice is feeling a little better now. Thanks for asking. So we've got a couple more volcanoes, and we've actually been using some of this. I rearranged the area a bit and redid the power setup and stuck it under the tank, make it a little bit cleaner. And we've also made some redstone energy conduit, and this stuff holds up to 10,000 RF, which is about 100 MJ, which is awesome. Where is it? There we go. So we've got about 45. So we should be able to rerun all the cable. So let us go down. I really, the machines, I love the machines, but I was really enjoying my 50, 60 frames per second, and now it's down to 23. And I don't even have a lot here. It's it's kind of depressing, actually. So we're gonna basically replace all of this stuff here. This line here is being powered from this guy, and this is the lava. And we'll probably turn this off because we're not using it right now. Save some lava. And we redid the power distribution over here, so we can now stick in some extra dynamos. And you know what? I need more of this stuff. Need more fluid duct. Okay, so we've got the cable run. We'll let this run until it's done, and then I think we'll turn that off. But right now that I think of it, I can't remember if I turned the stupid magma one off. I did. Okay. So I added in the other 4 that we got in our kit. So we've got 5 total. So we should be generating 5 times 8. So what, that's 40, 400 RF, which is roughly about 40 MJ, which should be plenty. I've got this run all the way up. And actually, I think I need to go pick up a couple of guys that dropped down here. Maybe not. Oh well, I guess I lost them. And there we go. Our AE is online. Sweet. But for now, we are actually, I think, coming up on the end of the episode. So next episode, we're going to mess around with the golems and see if we can get them working. But if you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. And until next episode, please do take care.